Zhang Ling stood backstage, the heavy velvet curtains muffling the deafening roar of the thousands of fans packed tightly inside the arena. The electric energy in the air was palpable, sending a familiar surge of adrenaline straight through his veins. He adjusted the collar of his tailored jacket, taking a slow, deep breath to steady his racing heartbeat. Tonight's fan meeting was already a massive success, but the schedule was tightly packed, and every minute had to be executed with absolute precision. His manager offered a reassuring nod from the wings, signaling that it was time for the next segment of the event to begin. Stepping out onto the stage, Zhang Ling was instantly greeted by a blinding wall of camera flashes and a deafening wave of ecstatic screams. The sheer volume of the crowd echoed off the walls, a testament to his skyrocketing popularity and the massive success of their recent drama collaboration. A bright, genuine smile broke across his face as he raised a hand to wave, acknowledging the sea of glowing light sticks that swayed in rhythm with the music. He walked toward center stage, effortlessly commanding the attention of every single person in the room with his signature poise and charm. The host of the evening stepped forward with a mischievous grin, holding a microphone that crackled slightly with static. The interview started smoothly, flowing through standard questions about his character, behind-the-scenes anecdotes, and heartfelt messages of gratitude dedicated to the loyal fanbase. Zhang Ling answered with his usual wit and warmth, often pausing to laugh along with the playful teasing of the crowd. Little did he know, the production team and the organizers had secretly orchestrated a massive surprise that was about to completely derail the carefully planned schedule. Behind the scenes, the backstage area transformed into a whirlwind of hurried whispers and frantic footsteps. Tian Xiwei had just arrived through a private side entrance, shielding her face slightly with a baseball cap while trying to suppress her excited giggles. Her unexpected appearance was a heavily guarded secret known only to the director and a couple of trusted crew members. The original plan had indicated she was miles away filming another project across the city, making her presence tonight an absolute impossibility in the eyes of everyone present. As Zhang Ling playfully bantered with the host about his favorite scenes from the drama, the lighting on the stage subtly shifted. The main spotlight dimmed just enough to create a momentary sense of theatrical suspense, while the background music transitioned into an instrumental version of their drama's hit Ost. Zhang Ling blinked in confusion, momentarily stopping mid-sentence as he wondered if there was a technical glitch in the program. The host, playing along with the sudden change, flashed a knowing smile and encouraged the audience to look directly at the main LED screen behind them. The huge LED screen flickered to life, transitioning from promotional stills to a live, delayed feed of the backstage hallway. A collective gasp rippled through the front rows of the audience as they recognized the familiar corridor on the screen. There, walking briskly toward the stage doors with a bright, mischievous grin, was Tian Xiwei herself. The realization hit the crowd like a bolt of lightning, transforming the already loud venue into an absolute epicenter of pure chaos and disbelief. Before Zhang Ling could fully process what was happening on the screen, the stage doors swung wide open with a dramatic thud. Tian Xiwei stepped into the blinding glare of the stage lights, holding a wireless microphone and wearing a casual yet stunning outfit that contrasted sharply with her formal drama press conference attire. The moment the crowd registered her physical presence right there on the stage, the arena erupted into a sound so thunderous and intense that it felt like a physical shockwave reverberating through the floorboards. Zhang Ling froze in sheer astonishment, his eyes widening as he stared at the woman standing just a few feet away from him. For a solid 3 seconds, his brain completely stalled, unable to reconcile the reality of her standing before him with the schedule he had memorized that morning. The sheer absurdity and joy of the moment hit him all at once, melting his initial shock into a wide, disbelieving laugh. He shook his head, running a hand through his hair as a mixture of amusement and utter surprise painted his expressive features. The fans went completely wild, their screams reaching a pitch that defied normal human limits. Thousands of phones shot up into the air simultaneously, desperately trying to capture the historic crossover moment that nobody had seen coming. Social media feeds across the internet were instantly flooded with frantic status updates, caps, and delirious reactions as viewers watching the live stream realized what was unfolding in real time. The hashtag dedicated to the duo skyrocketed to the #1 trending spot worldwide within a matter of minutes. Tian Xiwei strolled confidently toward the center of the stage, her infectious energy radiating out to every corner of the venue. She raised her microphone with a playful twinkle in her eye, pretending to scold the stunned actor for looking so thoroughly bewildered. The audience roared with laughter at her cheeky expression, completely eating out of the palm of her hand. Zhang Ling finally recovered his composure, stepping forward to meet her halfway across the stage with a welcoming gesture. "I heard someone was missing their favorite co-star," Tian Xiwei announced into her mic, her voice crystal clear over the roar of the cheering crowd. The venue went absolute bonkers at her words, with fans screaming so loudly that her next sentence was nearly drowned out entirely. Zhang Ling laughed heartily, shaking his head as he finally found his voice again. He playfully retorted that he had been managing just fine on his own. "Thank you very much," sparking a delightful banter that had the chemistry between them shining brighter than ever. The playful bickering sent the shipping fandom into an absolute frenzy of joy. Banner holders waved their oversized posters with renewed vigor, while light sticks flashed faster and brighter in a synchronized display of pure adoration. The host wisely decided to step back and let the two stars take over the spotlight, recognizing that no prepared script could ever compete with the organic magic happening live on stage. The dynamic between them was effortless, filled with the comfortable familiarity of two actors who had spent months sharing grueling hours on a demanding film set. Tian Xiwei explained how she had managed to wrap up her other schedule early and conspired with the crew to pull off the ultimate prank on her unsuspecting co-star. Zhang Ling listened with an amused smile, shaking his head in mock disbelief at the elaborate deception. He admitted that he had genuinely believed she was tied up across town for the entire evening, proving that the surprise element had worked to absolute perfection. The playful teasing continued, with both of them exchanging witty remarks that kept the audience hanging on their every single word. The atmosphere inside the arena shifted from a standard fan meeting into a joyous celebration of camaraderie and shared success. The producers quickly brought out a couple of extra chairs and a handheld mic for Tian Xiwei, realizing that the original run of the show needed to be improvised on the spot. Zhang Ling gallantly offered her his hand as she navigated the edge of the stage, a simple chivalrous gesture that caused another massive wave of deafening screams to echo through the rafters. Sitting side by side under the warm glow of the stage lights, the two actors answered impromptu questions thrown out by the ecstatic crowd. They shared hilarious behind-the-scenes stories of bloopers, missed cues, and late-night noodle runs during the freezing winter shoots of their drama. Their effortless chemistry was undeniable, lighting up the entire room and making every single fan feel like they were part of an intimate, exclusive gathering. Every shared glance, every playful eye roll, and every hearty laugh was dissected and adored by the thousands of watching eyes. As the interview segment wound down, the host introduced a surprise mini-game specifically tailored for the dynamic duo. The rules were simple, but the competitive spirit between Zhang Ling and Tian Xiwei immediately took over, turning the game into a hilarious spectacle of playful rivalry. Fans cheered wildly for their respective favorites, turning the arena into a roaring sports stadium filled with unbridled enthusiasm. The laughter was infectious, spreading from the stage to the back rows and creating an unbreakable bond of shared happiness between the idols and their supporters. Tian Xiwei ultimately won the quick-witted challenge, prompting a triumphant victory pose that had Zhang Ling laughing and shaking his head in mock defeat. He gracefully accepted his loss, bowing to his co-star in theatrical submission while the crowd applauded their entertaining antics. The light-hearted competition showcased their natural comedic timing and proved why they were considered one of the most beloved on-screen pairings of the current entertainment season. The time for the event to draw its formal close approached much faster than anyone in the arena would have preferred. The lights dimmed once more, and a soft, emotional melody began to play through the high-end sound system, signaling the final segment of the night. Zhang Ling stood up and took a moment to look out across the massive expanse of the glowing venue, his expression turning deeply sincere and reflective. He held his microphone close, preparing to share his heartfelt closing thoughts with the people who had made his career dreams a stunning reality. With genuine emotion touching his voice, Zhang Ling thanked his fans for their unwavering support, dedication, and boundless love throughout his journey. He spoke from the heart, acknowledging the late nights they spent voting, streaming, and defending him across various digital platforms. Tears welled up in the eyes of several devoted fans in the front rows as they absorbed his heartfelt words of appreciation. He emphasized that every single milestone he achieved belonged just as much to them as it did to him, cementing a profound emotional connection between the star and his community. Tian Xiwei followed with her own touching speech, expressing her absolute delight at being able to crash the party and witness the incredible energy of the fandom firsthand. She praised Zhang Ling for his hard work, dedication, and professionalism on set, noting how inspiring it had been to work alongside him. Her words brought warm smiles to the faces of everyone in attendance, bridging the gap between their individual fanbases and uniting them into one harmonious collective. She thanked everyone for welcoming her with such open and enthusiastic arms. To cap off the unforgettable evening, the organizers rolled out a massive, beautifully decorated cake to celebrate the ongoing broadcast success of their hit drama series. Zhang, Linghe and Tian Xiwei stood side by side in front of the giant confection, holding a single long cake-cutting knife together as the entire arena began a rhythmic countdown. When they made the symbolic first cut, a burst of glittering confetti rained down from the ceiling, blanketing the stage in a shimmering shower of gold and silver. The audience burst into a final, deafening chorus of cheers, waving their light sticks high in a magnificent sea of glowing colors. Zhang, Linghe and Tian Xiwei waved enthusiastically to every section of the arena, walking from one side of the stage to the other to make sure everyone received a personal acknowledgement. They bowed deeply in unison,